Front Porch. Front Porch.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Front Porch here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree, and on the other side of the glass, it is super producer Nyron Sanders. It is August 29th, Friday, August 29th. And as the song said, we made it through that water, y'all. So we're going to talk about quite a few things. I am unmedicated this morning, so join this roller coaster ride of a show that this today is going to be. Lord have mercy. 20 years later, 20 years later, we're going to get into it, but we're not going to start there. I do want to start with a message that was shared from Michonne Copeland, who always sends the word. But before, I will not disappoint Uncle Gray and not open this show the way it's supposed to go. So come on in, grab yourself a comfortable chair, a mug, or a tumbler of your favorite frosty or steamy adult beverage, and sit a spell with us here on the campus of Xavier University, right at the foot of the overpass on Norman C. Francis Parkway. Don't forget to mind your manners. Say good morning. And on this Friday, August 29th, get prepared to share, call in, and have some conversations with us as we are observing the 20th year since Hurricane Katrina, that girl, came through the city and changed the life that we know we won't be going back to anytime soon. But uh, I want to say, like I said, I want to start with the message that Michonne shared, and I thought it was pretty appropriate. So here goes. You can handle it. Today's scripture. Let him take hold of my strength. Isaiah 27 and 5. Family life will put pressure on you. People may walk away, doors may shut, and circumstances may rise up that they feel unfair. You may think this is too heavy. I can't do it. But hear this: God will never allow something in your path that He hasn't already equipped you to endure and overcome. You are not fragile. You are not about to break. You are stronger than you realize because His strength is carrying you. You don't have to fight back with bitterness, chase down revenge, or stay weighed down by offenses. You can forgive when it hurts. You can take the high road when it costs you. You can smile in the face of adversity because the power of the Almighty is inside you. Instead of focusing on how big the problem looks, declare how big your God is. Say, I am armed with strength for his battle. I am anointed for challenges. I am built to last. I may walk through the valley, but I will not stay there. I am coming out stronger, wiser, and victorious. Every test is a setup for your testimony. Every valley is a passage to a higher mountain. And every weight is an opportunity for your faith muscles to grow. Father, thank you for being my unshakable strength when life feels overwhelming. Thank you for arming me with courage and fortitude for every battle I face. I will not collapse under the pressure, but I will rise with your power. I declare that I am equipped, I am anointed, and I am victorious through Christ. In Jesus' name, amen. So, good morning, and good morning, and let the shenanigans begin. Today is a day of mixed and crazed emotions. I promise you. I almost cried this morning, then I laughed this morning, then I didn't know how I was gonna feel this morning. So I don't really know how this show is going to go, but we're gonna have a good old time. If nothing else, we are going to enjoy ourselves. So I hope that you all are having a good morning this morning. And if nothing else, we made it. We made it. 20 years later, we are able to say that we are still here. And there's more work here in the city that needs to be done, but we are at least here in this moment right now. And say your gratefulness, say what you are grateful for, and make a plan for the changes that you want to see. Because to be honest, I have listened to complaints, I have made complaints, and now I'm ready for the conversations to come through about how we're going to arrive at solutions? What are your problem solving ideas? Yes, we know what the problem is. We have done our job of acknowledging and recognizing the challenges and the problems, but it is time for us to solution build. It is time for us to solution build, because we can't stay in the space of just highlighting problems. We know that there are problems. We know that there are many of them that exist. But yeah, it's gonna be a whole bunch of shenanigans. Today is the eve of the back porch meetup. I am super excited and can't wait to see all of y'all and hug your necks tomorrow, and as well as just celebrate and have a good time to get together with us. So be sure to be encouraged. And again, want to hear the solutions. Want to hear the solutions and not the problems. 504-582-9422. Good morning, OT.
Hey, good morning, Kimber. Yeah, of course, I listen to you guys all the time, and I was listening with the kind of the pain in your voice about when you said you almost want to cry just to greet this day. And usually I don't. I'll call in sometimes. I haven't called in a while, and I haven't been actually much on the station since I left.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of us who are here every day, for those of us who are in and out of that water, it's interesting to see the ceremonial stuff and a lot of the people that are popping up. But the pain is really real. So I just had to call to tell you thank you for sharing that, because for many of us, it's not a political occasion or a celebration. A lot of it is it's a remembrance, because I've seen so much that people have represented that really have no idea about what it was like, or the things that happened, or what you had to go through just to be here in that water every day and have that uncertainty every day and trying to help or rescue people every day. So thank you for sharing that feeling.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I hope to see you this weekend so we could, give a little hug, because everybody need it right now. We need some positive energy to pass along to people. We definitely need that.
Yeah, and when you were saying that, I think that's also part of the solution. We don't honor ourselves, and too many of us, especially in this age of social media and negativity, we continue to portray ourselves as victims. And the New Orleans I grew up in, where I was rescued during Betsy, I lived in the shelter. Uh, Gosh, we lost everything. Didn't have a home. Or Katrina, where we really lost everything. And I'll never forget staying in people's houses and sleeping on their floor
Mm-hmm.
until College Temple in Baton Rouge and James Gray actually gave me a place to stay, until I had a place to stay here in a FEMA hotel after Katrina. But we don't give ourselves enough credit. The New Orleans people, we're some of the greatest survivors. We're people who deal with tragedy, who deal with disaster, and we really built like that. But we focus so much on the negative. In fact, that's the best thing we have going for us here, our people. But we don't always believe in ourselves. So I think that's one of the solutions moving forward, is that we know we can survive, but we can also build, and we can also come together. And together we can also make this city what we want it to be. So that's my solution.
Well, thank you for that, OT. We appreciate your calling in, and yes, we have to come up with solutions. The negativity, we know what's going on. It's time for us to figure out a way for us to get ourselves out of that. Thank you for that, OT.
Have a great day.
All right, have a great day. Well, y'all, it is already time for our first break. Stay tuned to the front porch right here on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
New Orleans, are you ready? A fresh voice in the city is here. bringing you the beats, the culture, and the stories that matter. From local music and food to real talk on what's happening in the streets, we've got you covered. Stay tapped in. Follow us on all platforms at WBOK 1230 for the latest updates and exclusive content. Your city, your culture, your news. Don't just hear about it, be about it. Follow us at WBOK 1230 now.
Good Friday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. 20 years ago today, the lives of so many in our community changed forever. On August 29th, 2005, Hurricane Katrina devastated much of our area. This morning, New Orleans City Council leaders will come together to honor the 100 unidentified victims of the storm. The annual wreath-laying ceremony will take place at the Katrina Memorial on Canal Street. And we can't forget, today is also the 4-year anniversary of another devastating storm, Hurricane Ida. The Category 4 storm made landfall at Port Fourchon and stayed at Cat 4 all the way to Houma. Ida then turned east and wreaked havoc in the Bayou and River parishes. The hardest hit communities were St. John, St. Charles, Lafourche, Terrebonne, and Lower Jefferson Parish. It's one of the strongest storms to ever hit the state. At least 107 people died, and 30 of those in Louisiana alone. Members of the community gathered to remember the young life of Brian Vasquez. He was found dead in a lagoon near his home in New Orleans East, nearly 2 weeks after he went missing. Family and friends marched to that location, placing a cross to remember him. A family friend says they want the focus now to be on the difficulties faced by some families with children on the spectrum. His death was ruled as blunt force trauma associated with an alligator. And finally, college football is back this weekend. This weekend, LSU takes on Clemson, Southern takes on Mississippi Valley, Grambling takes on Langston, and Tulane takes on Northwestern. And NOLA's very own Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns take on the defending college football champ Ohio State Buckeyes. There's so many exciting games to watch this weekend. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day and a fantastic weekend.
A message from the community scientist. Do you live or work in St. James, St. John, St. Charles, Ascension, Calcasieu, Baton Rouge, or St. Bernard Parish? You may be exposed to harmful chemicals like phthalates, BPA, and flame retardants found in everyday products but linked to serious health risks. That's why the community scientist, a program of Rise St. James, brings you clear, science-based facts that protect your health and our environment. Stay informed, stay empowered. Visit risestjames.org today.
Let's face the hard facts, New Orleans. Our city's population keeps dropping. Our residents are unhappy with basic services. Our neighborhoods are suffering. And too few of our young people can find a future in their hometown. This is why the City Services Coalition came together. A diverse, nonpartisan group of local citizens, the Coalition's 216-page action plan is full of fresh, innovative ideas to improve public safety, streets, drainage, sanitation, and permitting. It's based on the simple premise: if we can't do the basics right, how can we do anything else? The time for excuses is over. When you elect a new mayor, no matter who you vote for, make sure that person is ready to work for change and to make New Orleans what it should be. The great city we know it can be. The next step is yours. For more information, go to cityservicescoalition.com.
Paid for by the City Services Coalition.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and do not have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you do not pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. You're on the front porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
Welcome to the Front Porch here on WBOK Media, here on the station you listen to all day long. I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree, and assistant producer Aaron Sanders is on the other side of the glass. It is Friday, August 29th. I want to swing a little upward today. I want to wish a very happy birthday to Curtis Pierre. Y'all have seen him twice this week with some of the commemorations and things we have been participating in this week. But we celebrated his birthday last night at rehearsal and wanted to give him public happy birthday. We got some happy things happening on today. I don't want it to be a day of doom and gloom, but a day of reflection. It is necessary for us to look upward because we don't live in the valleys all the time. You know, the valleys do come, but we don't live there all the time. Who wants to live in the valley all of the time? So the lines are open, 504-582-9422. And where you at, George?
Good morning, man. How you doing, Miss Kim?
I'm doing well. How are you doing this morning?
Baby, you had me with a little Kim nostalgia. I need to check my facts right quick. Didn't you have a 4 o'clock program on WBOK?
No, not at 4 o'clock. I had a 6 a.m. show. Yes, in the morning.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because I know I followed you. I thought it was you on the 4 o'clock program, but I followed you on the 6 a.m. program as much as I could because 6 a.m. really ain't my hour.
Yeah, me neither.
I remember, but you were there.
Yes.
See, and your prayer this morning, right? That's what I'm going to call it. I don't know what you call it, but
fine. Prayer is just fine.
Yeah, your prayer this morning made me go nostalgic. And I remember all of them 6 a.m. shows that you were doing, and I would be in the background, hey, how y'all doing? You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And it was always uplifting. It was always seeking a solution.
Yes.
See, everything that I remember about you was like, okay, we got this situation here, but let's find we got to find a solution. We just can't stay stuck in the situation. So your prayer this morning had brought me nostalgia to you because, you know, it is kind of like representation of a spirit that keeps going forward.
Yes.
And that's why I called in and be following y'all on the front porch and the back porch, wherever y'all at. I don't care. I know it's the front porch.
Yes.
And I just wanted to say it is a truth when you speak truth to power. And the essence of your prayer is you are living proof. So I got the proof. If I don't know where to find it, I'm talking to it.
Yes. Yes.
That is all things is possible. And so that's all I call you up to say was, hey, look, go it on. Keep on doing what you're doing. You know I love the Branks. You know what I mean? The Grill and Brian Branks guy. I love that guy. And this new guy y'all got behind the scenes there.
Nyron.
I know. Nyron, yeah, call him Nyron. That's his name, man. That's his name. Just keep on doing what you're doing, baby. And anybody who has felt that power this morning, see, that's what I felt. That's what stirred me after and put me in reflection of who you have been all the time that I have known you. I don't know you personally. I've met you a few times,
yes,
right? But your spirit is true. And so that's all I called and said was, hey, you prayed the good prayer and you standing and you fighting the good fight. So keep on doing what you do. Oh, and two,
yes,
I bought me one of them $55 tickets too.
Well, come on. I know I'm going to be looking for you tomorrow in the place here.
I hope to see y'all tomorrow. As God will, I will be there.
I'm looking to see you. You hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Keep on having that beautiful inspiration of who you are, doing what you do morning. Is Mr. Banks there this morning?
He's not here yet. He may be able to stop on in. You know, he's booked and busy. So, yeah.
Oh, that's all right. The spirit is still all up in there. It's all up in there. So you keep on doing what you're doing. And I'm just calling to tell you this morning, I love you and your graciousness, because it's a few times you have had to help me along in the broadcast by just being kind and polite.
I try.
You do. I said, damn, I just got dissed and didn't even know. But you didn't diss me. You didn't dismiss me. You just politely helped Pop along the way.
Well, thank you for calling in and thank you for sharing that with me, George. I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow, all right?
Yes, ma'am. Keep up the love.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one. Later.
All right.
It is Free Your Mind Friday, even though it is the 20th commemoration of Hurricane Katrina changing our city. It is still Free Your Mind Friday. If you got something on your mind and want to get it off your chest, give us a call, 504-582-9422. Last night, it's always some stuff going on. It's always some stuff that I'm getting into. And yesterday was no different. Of course, rehearsals happen on Tuesday and Thursdays with Casa Samba, and yesterday was no different. We had our special guest teacher, Georgette Bond, in rehearsal. She left last night, but after that, she said I kidnapped her, but I didn't know such thing, Lord. She drove her own car and followed me there. But Tiffany at Knighton and I went to Villa Bassos, and yesterday on Thursday nights it's Trivia Thursday. So we definitely we spoke about what's going to take place on tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you the story because it was really, really funny of some of the things that took place on yesterday. But before I get into that, I got some special company on the line. 504-582-9422. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
We are great and grateful. How are you?
I'm doing well. I am I'm not going to lead you, but tell the people who you're calling with, and then we're gonna get into the story because I saw, and I can't wait for us to schedule to get some of the more of the young ladies in here so they can tell about their experience. But go ahead and tell the people who you are and what we're talking about this morning.
I am a parent of a member of the greatest legendary EDT Irie dance team.
Yes.
And our girls, yes. And our girls just returned from California last night representing the city on America's Got Talent.
Yes. I am so proud of these. Well, first of all, I'm proud of everybody involved. And when I say everybody, I mean the parents for being able to do rehearsals and take care of the activities and the fees that are involved. I'm proud of course, Irie for being able to manage what I know is chaos because this is 25. So my 32 years of teaching dance, what it's like to wrangle girls.
Yes, ma'am. She does an amazing job.
She does an amazing job. To the young ladies who have definitely put their time, their sweat, blood, and tears into presenting and representing for the city. Congratulations to all of you all. We are so proud of you. We are so very proud of you. And we're looking to see so much more from you. So fill our listening audience in on what has taken place since we talked to you all last.
So the team was selected to appear on the quarterfinals of the show, which means that they were in the top 44 of hundreds of acts. They were invited back to display their talent again on an international stage, and they did amazing. And when they interviewed our kids, they cut this part of the interview, but they're very knowledgeable, and they talked about how all of them are the children of Katrina victims and how the anniversary of Katrina was coming up today and how pivotal this is for the city to show that we are back.
Yes.
New Orleans is not coming back, but we are back, and this is a positive thing for them to display their talents for the city, and it's a sign that New Orleans is back. And so we just really, really just want to say thank you to everyone. We got amazing, overwhelming support for Coach Irie, Coach Tay, Coach Vivian, and all of our girls, all of our 15 girls who dedicated their time and their talents to represent this city on an international stage, and we couldn't be more thankful.
And represent the city, they did. They really, really did an amazing job. And the youngest, I think the youngest was 6 years old.
Yes, she's just turning 7.
That is a lot of responsibility and a lot of work and work ethic that is expected of these young ladies who have definitely shown their talent. They've shown their discipline. They're shown that, you know, the assumption of what's going on in our community is not what you thought, and definitely put on the full display of what the full talent that New Orleans has to offer. So congratulations to you all. We look forward to having you guys back to share what you have coming forward. And of course, in the future, if you got something happening, be sure to let us know, because our listeners, they really, really love to support the youth, because we need other young kids to take up the torch.
Yes, and we have a showcase coming up within the next month. Stay tuned and follow Irie Dance and Tumbling on Instagram, and follow them on TikTok, and you'll be able to keep up with everything that EDT is doing. But the next thing that we have is a showcase to showcase the talents of the team for the city, in the city. And so Irie will be coming to talk to you about that, hopefully when you have time to receive her. But we're just so thankful for all of the support that you've given, all of the support that the city has given, and everything that the team has done.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I said before, you all have an open invitation to come and share with us, because we are so proud of everybody involved, and we appreciate you all sharing your gifts and your girls with the world, literally the world.
Thank you.
And thank you for calling in. Y'all have a good weekend.
You too.
All righty. Talk to you later. Y'all, if you get a chance to go and run back the latest performance from EDT, Irie Dance and Tumbling, do that. I mean, it takes a lot, and I'm telling y'all from experience, it takes a lot to teach movement and coordination and consistency with any groups of people, getting all the attitudes and the dispositions all together to get everybody to perform and to give a performance that is coordinated. I'm telling you, it's difficult. And again, I graduated from Kelly School of Dance in 1993. So that's 32 years ago. That's a long time. And from the babies to the adults, it is a very difficult task. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and look up EDT, check them out, check out the work and the things. And I mean, the youngest that was on stage was 6 years old. Go and check them out, and look forward to greater later, because there's going to be a whole lot more that these young ladies are going to be able to do. We come up on this next break, y'all. Stay tuned right here to the Front Porch on WBOK Media, the station you listen to all day long.
New Orleans, are you ready? A fresh voice in the city is here, bringing you the beats, the culture, and the stories that matter. From local music and food to real talk on what's happening in the streets. We've got you covered. Stay tapped in. Follow us on all platforms at WBOK 1230 for the latest updates and exclusive content. Your city, your culture, your news. Don't just hear about it, be about it. Follow WBOK 1230 now.
Hey, New Orleans, look for important changes to your natural gas service. This summer, Delta Utilities takes over for Entergy Gas with a Louisiana-born, Louisiana-based approach to safe, clean, reliable natural gas. No interruptions or rate changes due to the transition, just dependable service and modernized technology to keep you running smoothly. Get to know us at deltautilities.com and stay tuned for more later this summer. Delta Utilities, focused on natural gas, committed to New Orleans.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
You're on the Front Porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
is ready. That big chief eagle now from way uptown. The fire was hollering, the flag was jumping. Fire was talking, boy is ready. The ball come who now? Let's go get 'em now. On the way uptown, let's get 'em in the morning.
Welcome back to the Front Porch on WBOK Media. All day long. I'm your host, Kimber White Free. On the other side of the glass is producer Naren Sanders. It is Friday, August 29th, but it's still Free Your Mind Friday. So if you got something on your mind, want to get it off your chest, give us a call, 504-582-9422. Wake your brass up. It's time to go. Let's go get them. Let's go get them as we are commemorating 20 years since the storm that changed all of our lives. I'll talk a little bit more toward the end of the show because, like, I do need to be able to be here to to be able to share the information without getting too choked up. Because, like I said, I do not know how my emotions are going to go. Like, I don't know how I actually feel today. I am happy to be here. I am excited that 20 years later we're still here. But 20 years ago, what it looks like in New Orleans versus now is completely different. Life is never going to be the same. Some of that is a good thing, and some of that is just insane. So I do not want to take us too far into a rabbit hole or a tailspin, but for sure, if you got something on your mind, want to give us, you got something on your mind, want to get off your chest, give us a call, 504-582-9422. What you say, Lawrence?
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Lawrence. I wrote a poem shortly after Katrina.
Yes, sir.
And I had a chance to get back into the city pretty early as a contractor, but at any rate, I remember going into a business and liquor bottles and wine bottles and glasses and everything. So the name of the piece is called Katrina. And it reads, to the city that parties and never quit, she went. To every hotel and motel. She danced to every song. She rang every bell. With the young and old, she partied, both black and white. She danced all night. The liquor was spilled as every glass she filled. And from house to home, she left no one alone as she partied in the city of the Superdome. No, she was not invited to this nonstop party, so she crashed every one until they all were done. And the city that parties and never stops did. No smoking, no drinking, no dancing, no singing. Both good and bad, both happy and sad, both righteous and unrighteous will never forget when Katrina came to the city that parties and never quits.
Woo. Thank you for that, Lawrence. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for sharing that.
They got a copy of it at the Treme Center.
Okay.
Because shortly after, that was posted. But I'm so glad I was able to share that.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling in and sharing that with us. We appreciate you. All right?
All right. Okay.
All right. Have a good one. Yeah. That's what we like to hear. Commemoration. Big snaps. We need that as a clip. Snapping, finger snaps. But yeah, we need that as we are observing the anniversary of what happened here in the city of New Orleans. Never to be the same. And I have different feelings about it. Some things have improved, some things have gotten better, some things have gotten worse. We are no longer lauded as the murder capital of the world. That's better, right? But it's so many different things that have gotten worse. The school situation, I don't care how many coats of paint we put on it, we still got some issues here. And I'm gonna be nice today and not call out administrators and or schools and or leaders who sat idly by and are still pretending like poop painted over is still not poop. So we definitely are going to get back to that conversation, but I don't want to dive too deeply into that right now. But if you got something on your mind, you want to give us a call, 504-582-9422. So really, really quickly, last night, Tiffany and I were at Don Villabasso's on the Bayou, and it was Trivia Tuesday with Brian Trustee. And if y'all ever get a chance, go check that out. And the Trivia Tuesday, the questions, they vary. And so you, as a team, you get to name your team. I don't remember too many names of the other group, but Tiffany and I's name was Booty Everywhere. Of course, it's applicable, right? We had just come from dance rehearsal, and we are definitely doing big back activities. What's my favorite thing to do? Eat. Don Villabasso's has the best. When I say the best chicken wings ever, still the best chicken wings ever. So as we were eating, we were playing the game, and they every so often they would announce like what the rankings were, and so such and such headhunters are first place. Easy Greasy, second place. Booty Everywhere, third place. And that went through the entire game. And of course, it would be football, a football question that would be my undoing. Y'all know I don't sports. I do not sports. Sports to me is I glaze over in my eyes and I'm no longer listening. But the question was, how many quarterbacks have started for the Saints in a playoff? You know, I had no idea. It was multiple choice. It was 2, 3, or 4. I chose 3. And apparently a whole lot of other people chose 3 because they forget about this other quarterback that I guess we're supposed to pay attention to. Y'all know I don't sports. But still, Booty Everywhere got third place. We won third place of all the competitors last night, and it was a time. So Thursday nights is Trivia Tuesday over at Don Villavasso's. And for those of you who will be joining us on tomorrow night, get ready for a time. We are going to indeed have a time, and we will recap that on Tuesday. Let me say this again. We will recap that on Tuesday because Monday we will be at our own self houses, hopefully recovering from a good time and spending some well-deserved time on Labor Day. So if you don't have your ticket, there's still time. Naren will put the link in the chat for you all to be able to get your tickets. There are a whole lot of giveaways, a whole lot of I think you'll be able to order maybe your Back Porch t-shirt, but we're looking forward to having a good time, and we'll also be celebrating my happy about this season, because I promise you, every time we get to this week, I want to fast forward it to the 30th every time, because this week is always hard and heavy no matter what, because I remember, and if you were here or if you were away watching all of the news cycles, you remember. And if you came home to rebuild your home, you remember. So for sure, you want to be in the place tomorrow, because it'll be a lot of laughs. It'll be a lot of entertainment. It'll be a whole lot of shenanigans that will shenan again and again. So that's the Back Porch meetup happening on tomorrow. VIP starts at 5, and then the general show that we will be recording will begin at 6. From 6 to 9, we're going to have a good old time. But, yeah, it would, of course, be a football question that would be my undoing because I don't sports. But I was close. Y'all would have been proud of me. But I definitely want to give a shout-out to Brian Trustee, Don Villavasso's, and the crew, because there's a consistent crew that's over there on a Thursday. Yeah, Booty Everywhere. It's applicable because, yeah, y'all know. Anyway, y'all, we're going to take this break. Stay tuned to the Front Porch right here on WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Campus of Xavier University. WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black Chicago businessman Willie Wilson is urging Trump to send the National Guard to curb violence.
Anybody that comes in to help save lives, whether they Republican, Democrat, I welcome it.
But Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson vow to fight any troop deployment in court, calling it illegal and un-American. Black Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice has been suspended 6 games by the NFL. The punishment follows his guilty plea in a Dallas crash where he drove 119 miles per hour, injuring 4. Rice got 30 days in jail and 5 years probation. And today marks 20 years since Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans, killing over 1,800 people after the city's levee system failed. The BIN's Tammy Estwick will anchor a special honoring the lives lost and the legacy of the storm. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
This year marks 20 years since Hurricane Katrina changed our city and our schools forever. New Schools for New Orleans is sharing After the Storm, a special series reflecting on the past 2 decades of change and progress in public education. Through videos, personal stories, and a powerful interactive timeline and data dashboard, we explore how our schools recovered, transformed, grew, and what that progress means for our students today. Discover the videos, data, resources, and stories behind the 20 years of change at newschoolsforneworleans.org/Katrina20.
You're on the Front Porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
Side of the glass is super producer Nara Sanders and Jade the Magnificent, who also speaks by love language of food. Food is my love language. If y'all ever want to know, the way to my heart is food. And also our GM Justin is getting things ready for a remote broadcast. But we in this thing. We are definitely in this thing. And now we're going to get into a conversation with our good friends over at Ashe Cultural Arts Center. I'd like to welcome back to the Front Porch LaShonda Pickett-Renee and welcome to the Front Porch Kenitra Caston. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you all doing this morning?
Doing well.
Okay, we're doing fantastic. Just happy to come on the show and celebrate and remember Katrina.
Absolutely. It is a day to observe the change that happened to the entire city of New Orleans. Of course, it had some impacts on the Gulf Coast region, but this is the day that we are recognizing the change that has happened to the city of New Orleans and celebrate, I hope, some of the progress that has happened. So, good morning, ladies. And what's going on? Hold on a second. Justin, pardon me, ladies. Justin, are you okay over there? All right. Okay. Back to my guests. So we have something coming on with Loving Blackness. Kenitra, you're with Loving Blackness LLC. What's getting ready to happen over at Ashe?
Well, honestly, I'll let LaShonda discuss Ashe. I'm actually the co-chair for the Katrina 20 local planning committee, and we have had a ton of activities throughout the Gulf South region, from Louisiana to Mississippi to Alabama, just not only commemorating Hurricane Katrina, the lives lost, the suffers, but also how we have just resonated and rise above what our experiences are. I know myself and LaShonda are both Hurricane Katrina survivors.
Absolutely.
And we really felt propelled to join this week of action with the local planning committee, which is pretty much consistent of a regional and grassroots coalition of leaders, community organizations, cultural institutions, and just volunteers throughout Louisiana, Mississippi, trying to make sure that we pay homage to all that has occurred within these last 20 years.
Absolutely. And I thank you for putting work into highlighting some of the things that are taking place within the city and all of the events. So, LaShonda, you with us?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, so how are you all paired together with K20 and involved in the things that are happening um within the commemoration on today, and that's been happening throughout the week, really.
Throughout the week, exactly. So ASHE is one of the core convening organizations for the Katrina 20 Week of Action. We're also participating in the K20 Local Planning Committee. So not just providing the space for the committee to convene over the last year, but being active members, folks who are on ASHE staff, affiliated with ASHE, and just, friends of ASHE have been a part of all of the committee activity as well as the subcommittee activity. Kenitra and I have been a part of the comms committee for some time. There's also a group of folks who have been getting together to focus on some of the programming. So what's happening this week of action is very much in line with, as you know, what we love to do at ASHE, which is elevate the culture, and also to create platforms for artists to tell our stories, who we believe are the true messengers. And so this week, ASHE will have Swimming Upstream, which is a production of Katrina narratives. It's coming back to New Orleans. It was first launched in 2008. It is a play that was written by a long list of really phenomenal women who shared their personal stories of how they were impacted by Hurricane Katrina. And it will be, this new rendition will be put on by a smaller group, but no less impressive, to come together, share those Katrina narratives, and for us to remember why these stories are important, but also the role of women in our community for holding it together, holding it down, and helping us to move forward. In this week, we're focused on remembrance, but we're also focused on healing and honoring and preparing for what's next. So this week of action has been a really wonderful expression of a years-long effort, as Kenitra mentioned, of over 200 individuals and organizations working together. Over 100 events have taken place or are taking place this week. Armstrong Park is activated. It's really beautiful. If you've not been out there, please come and join us. It's really been a fulfilling experience, but also a really powerful one.
Yes, absolutely. You've given us some of the program, a little bit of the programming and the planning that's taking place with K20. I would like to know, why was this important as we approach this milestone for you to be able to capture such a broad and be working in collaboration with other people for this particular commemoration? And that's to both of you.
Sure. This is Kenitra. I'll go. So this was extremely important. Though it has been 20 years, those 20 years have been long 20 years.
Yes, ma'am.
It's also, it goes in to show there's so many narratives out here about New Orleanians, Mississippians, folks from Alabama who suffered the devastating effects of Katrina. There's so many different narratives that are negative and that are just completely opposite of what occurred, who we are, and what we do. And we just want to make sure that we're not only honoring ourselves, our history, our people, but we're also showing folks that, yeah, we can work together. we can come together and we can build something absolutely beautiful. We can make lemonade out of lemons. And so often, I'll give you just a quick story. I was in Texas recently, and someone pulled me to the side and started just constantly talking about what they saw on TV and the news during Hurricane Katrina. And they took everything that they saw as factual. And I'm like, 20 years later, though, there's all these documentaries, there are books, there's all this literature out here that actually tells just some of our story. Because let's be clear, our story is much more vivid than what is being told. No one really knows what actually occurred and how we endured. So this is just remarkable. I'm just so excited to be a part of this. I'm so excited to be a part of what is naturally New Orleans, which is arts and cultural. Just being a part of folks that are activists. They're activating. They're talking about climate change. They're talking about resilience. They're talking about women in leadership. They're also talking about mental health issues, how this affected our children. I've also seen on social media where they're pushing the narrative about other narrative about Katrina babies, and instead of pushing what it actually was. So it's almost like rewriting history a little bit in the minds of folks who just don't know. And it's important for us to show unity and to show that, hey, we can come together. Not only can we come together, we can come together and build something absolutely beautiful, which is the Katrina 20 Week of Action.
Absolutely. Absolutely. LaShonda?
Yeah, so for me, I double click, underscore all that Kenitra just noted. For me, as someone who did lose everything in Katrina and who was displaced for a very long time, to Mississippi, actually, for me, this 20th anniversary is really profound because I'm finding myself, back in this place and in this city that I love, but also looking at it with new eyes. And, that wasn't something I was prepared for when I came back. I did have a friend tell me, hey, I know you love the city, but it's not the city you left. And I was just so gung-ho to come back that I was like, yeah. I'm here all the time. It's fine. But to be back and have lived, back in the city for, almost a decade now, it is certainly a new place, right? And so, to Kenitra's point about not only the narrative, but all that has been experienced, has been shared, has been built, and also has been lost over the last 20 years, I think are important for us to lift, to elevate, but also for us to, tell it like it is from our own perspective and not through the lens and voice of others. This Katrina event, didn't just affect New Orleans. It affected much of Louisiana, much of Mississippi, and much of Alabama. Yes. And so to be able to be together over the last year and work as a region, to be able to have real conversations, to fight through things, to talk through things, to give each other grace and to give each other ideas for what's possible has really been phenomenal. But also, I think it's a best practice that we are demonstrating as a group of volunteers for what can happen and what will happen when we elect to put the greater good above our personal and individual gain. And so Junebug Productions, Taproot Earth, Ashe, and fiscally sponsored by Foundation for Louisiana have really set the groundwork for this new model of collective action that is viable. Despite what the narrative has said, that we can, as Kenitra said, come together. And when we do come together, you have phenomenal things like an entire week of action where much of what's happening is free. In fact, I think 90% of what's happening is free. Yeah. And the things that aren't free are very low cost and affordable. And there are opportunities for even free access to those things. And so our community has come together and said to say, this is our story. Our theme for the committee is We Are the Storm. And all of the decisions that were made, all of the programming that was created was decided collectively. And if you've ever worked in a small group, imagine working with a group of over 200 people for over a year. So this is really a feat, and I'm really proud to be a part of it.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. Taproot, the Monarch Forum that was held on Monday and Tuesday, I had a chance to be a part of with Casa Samba. And so when we're talking about we're talking about groups that are um, grassroots. I feel like grassroots is a moniker that it's relevant, but foundation. They are foundational organizations that have helped the city continue the culture that is necessary to be preserved. And the different organizations that have made sure that the culture didn't just completely get washed away, wiped off the map. Because we had conversations about how certain communities and certain areas were considered to be turned into green spaces, meaning that those people couldn't return to their portions of town. So thank you for highlighting the organizations here in the city that are undergirding and are the foundation of the culture that everybody loves to come up and soak up. Switching lanes a little bit, can you talk about the significance of being on sacred ground, that being Armstrong Park activations, and how that space has been envisioned as a site of healing?
Oh, wow. Absolutely. LaShonda, I agree with everything that she said. Being a native New Orleanian, growing up in that neighborhood, it's just mind blowing sometimes. When I first got there and I walked through the park and I saw the absolute beautiful work that G Shard production did, Gina Charbonnet, it was just profound to know that my ancestors, your ancestors, once gathered here. This is the place where they were able on Sunday to practice their religion and practice their cultural ancestry type of tributes to their people. It's just so remarkable to hear the drums playing in that area. The same area, that same auditorium where I know some of us graduated from high school from. Most of us went, if you went to elementary school in New Orleans, you were at the Mahalia Jacksons for your performances and the auditorium for your graduations. It just brings so much back to my memories, a memory that unfortunately I have a 16-year-old. My son will never know. My son will never know the New Orleans that I knew. I was traveling. It's funny you're saying that. I traveled from Congo Square down Canal Street because I primarily grew up in Mid-City. And just to know that as I'm traveling, to show the difference from where we were growing up to now, there's no one on the streets. And the folks that I do see on the street don't look like me.
Yeah.
And that is so heartbreaking to pass Warren Easton, the same high school that my mom, my aunts, my siblings. It's just heartbreaking to know that. Let's be clear. This was always the plan. It was always the plan to move us out of New Orleans. This is exactly why dollars were moved outside of this region. The green spaces that LaShonda speaks of, the Lower Ninth Ward. I always say that I'm bicultural. I'm half Mid-City and half Lower Ninth Ward. Just to go back to those spaces and it's still empty, where it's vibrant, nothing but people, Black hardworking people were homeowners. That's another false narrative. These folks own their homes. They own their homes. They took very good care of their properties. And just to know that now those streets still haven't been repaired. A lot of them aren't able to rebuild because they aren't able to get water on their block, or they're not able to get electricity on their block, or the way the roads are, because the roads have never been repaired, that they can't move back, because how are you going to get to your house if the concrete from the road is sitting up 3 feet high? So, there's a lot of things that just comes into play this week. And I'm not going to lie, someone who lost everything, not just myself. I have a huge New Orleans family. Everyone lost their homes, 40 homes in total. It's heartbreaking this week. It's heartbreaking, but it also shows that, hey, we can do this. We can move forward. It may not be the New Orleans that it once was, but it still can be home.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to make it home. We're going to make it do what it has to do, regardless, because that is what we do. But after today, I really want people to retire the word resilient, because every time we rise above what you do to us, you give us some more. So, yeah, get off of me with that. Ladies, as we come to a close, I want to ask this: what are some words that you want to leave our listeners with, and also how do people access some of the programming that's going to continue on uh, throughout the day and beyond?
So www.katrina20.org is where people can come on and online to get information about all of the activities that are happening across Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. As well, anyone who wants to support the effort certainly can make a donation. There is work that will and is happening, not just this week, but beyond. And
Did I lose you?
ask the second part of your question again.
Oh, okay. And where can they find the information, and then to stay in touch with future programming and things that you all are going to continue to provide to the community?
Yep, and as well on www.katrina20.org, they can also sign up for more information and to get regular updates that'll be happening. The programming is happening through this Sunday, so Armstrong Park actually will be activated. It's activated now through Sunday, and there are, quite a few activities to still participate in that folks can absolutely still come out and be a part of. So there are healing spaces in Armstrong Park where people can come and get massage, get acupuncture, and experience other healing modalities. There is a annual Katrina March and Second Line that's happening. It's not at Armstrong Park. It's across the canal. There's, of course, I mentioned swimming upstream. Tickets can be purchased. That's tonight. Yep, tonight at 7 p.m. and tomorrow at 5 p.m. at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. People can purchase tickets at the MahaliaJackson.com. The Mahalia Jackson Theater's website. That's where the tickets are available. There's also a Welcome Home block party happening on Sunday under the bridge. And there are a bunch of art exhibits all over the city at Ashe, at NOLA by Nature, at CAC. This is a time for our community to show up and to learn, and to share, and also to be able to release, right? So the themes that are happening throughout this week are not just about remembering what has happened, remembering things that have lost, but it also is about being able to release. We're thinking forward at this anniversary, thinking about what does K30, K40, K50 look like. And we hope that New Orleans, the Gulf South region, all look not just different, but better, and also are still here as climate change is truly changing the reality of what it might mean to live on the Gulf South, in particular in New Orleans and other coastal communities. So my hope for people is that they will join us throughout the rest of this week. And that they will come and share their stories. There are also places in Armstrong Park where people can sit down and actually capture their story for posterity, for future generations to look back and learn from what wisdom you have to bring to the space. So thank you so much for having us. And it's an honor to be on the show and also to be a part of this historic experience.
Absolutely. I look forward to having you both back because there's more continued work to do. And all hands on deck. Our listening audience is always ready and prepared. And are there any socials that they should be following in addition to the website?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Follow us on Instagram at katrina20.org/week of action. We also have the hashtags Katrina20, Katrina20NOLA, hashtag We Are the Storm, and we're also on LinkedIn. So please follow us on Instagram. Shout out to Ray Fontaine. She's been doing a phenomenal job with our social media.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us on the Front Porch. It is K20. We are all survivors. I appreciate you sharing your work and also providing encouragement on today because it's heavy for a lot of us today. I am not sure how to feel moment by moment, but I look forward to seeing you at least between now and Sunday. And again, thank you for your work with our community, for our community, and making sure our culture remains in the space that it's supposed to be in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good one. All right, y'all,
You
we got to
too.
take this break. Stay tuned to the Front Porch right here on WBOK Media. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Where you at, everybody? It's Graylin Brian Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the Front Porch.
We are getting ready for the Back Porch happening on August 30th at Don Villavasso's on the Bayou.
Y'all know what time it is, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Of course, the VIP starts at 5, so if you in that number, be there, be square, because it's about to go down.
Many surprises in store, many giveaways ready. If you won't be in the place, I promise you are going to hate the recap on Tuesday
Because we will talk about it, you can believe that, because it's the Front Porch, y'all. The Back Porch Meet and Greet this Saturday, 6 to 9, Don Villavasso's on the Bayou.
We see y'all there.
Good Friday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. 20 years ago today, the lives of so many in our community changed forever. On August 29th, 2005, Hurricane Katrina devastated much of our area. This morning, New Orleans City Council leaders will come together to honor the 100 unidentified victims of the storm. The annual wreath-laying ceremony will take place at the Katrina Memorial on Canal Street. And we can't forget, today is also the 4-year anniversary of another devastating storm, Hurricane Ida. The Category 4 storm made landfall at Port Fourchon and stayed at Cat 4 all the way to Houma. Ida then turned east and wreaked havoc in the Bayou and River parishes. The hardest hit communities were St. John, St. Charles, Lafourche, Terrebonne, and Lower Jefferson Parish. It's one of the strongest storms to ever hit the state. At least 107 people died, and 30 of those in Louisiana alone. Members of the community gathered to remember the young life of Brian Vasquez. He was found dead in a lagoon near his home in New Orleans East, nearly 2 weeks after he went missing. Family and friends marched to that location, placing a cross to remember him. A family friend says they want the focus now to be on the difficulties faced by some families with children on the spectrum. His death was ruled as blunt force trauma associated with an alligator. And finally, college football is back this weekend. This weekend, LSU takes on Clemson, Southern takes on Mississippi Valley, Grambling takes on Langston, and Tulane takes on Northwestern. And NOLA's very own Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns take on the defending college football champ Ohio State Buckeyes. There's so many exciting games to watch this weekend. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day and a fantastic weekend.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
Saints of God, it's time for us to tell you the truth. It's time for you to start your 21-day challenge. Don't take another day. Do it right now. Call 504-701-4711. That's the whole water stove, Pastor David Impartan Sr., the host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. This is the water that's designed to change your body, the way you think, the way you act, and the way you look. Why don't you start your 21-day challenge today? For $35, you can start it right now. Call me so we can set up your appointment. 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. Change your water, change your mind.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. You're on the Front Porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
Work out, work out, work out. You got that. Work out, work out, work out. Let me see it, y'all. Come on, come on. I'm gonna show you how to do it. This that new shit. 1, buck, you got to wind it up.
Our GM are all in the building on this Friday, August 29th, the 20th commemoration of Hurricane Katrina, that bad girl who ripped through the city and turned it into something we don't know. But there's hope. There's hope. We're going to go straight back to the lines, 504-582-9422. Good morning, Raquel.
Good morning.
How you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing all right, Miss Dupree. I'm sorry for my tardiness. I'm come from the Good Morning Show.
I hear you when you call the Good Morning Show, ma'am. I do. I've been paying attention, following the story, because I want to know what's gonna happen with the people who paid the money for the registration for the schools with this gator mess. But yeah, no, yes,
Don't
ma'am.
you worry about nothing, Miss Kim. I ain't fall asleep on that at all or whatever. I wanted to give Katrina her just due and space that she deserves and stuff, and I'm going to let all that blow. But when I say I'm going to put my information out there for all the family, parents, and what have you, that has a problem and still looking for answers, or just, a commentation on what, they can do, and, what kind of, I guess, what would you call it, some type of
retribution towards the families that lost their, funds in that situation. I'm not falling asleep on that, Miss Kim. I promise you. On the other note,
yes, ma'am.
This is Katrina, and she deserves, her elbow room space and all, because we all know that was an infamous, not just us, being locally in the city, the state would have over the world, because we have been all over the world,
yes,
with this. And also, by that being said, when it comes back to, like you was having, the Front Porch, you all, and the Good Morning Show also was stating about the stories and the memories of Katrina. Let's get one thing straight, Miss Kim. Now, all of New Orleans know that we will get all the story of Katrina.
Right.
We won't never give it. But in due time, like they say, the reporters and the media, try to give all what was given on the TV, what was shown, what have you. But the only way we'll try, I guess, to get to that point, or try to get is majority of the facts and the reality of the story is from the people.
Yes.
And and in the remembrance, like we have every year of Katrina, we need to, reach out to, just people just walking on a sidewalk, what have you, just standing on a corner. Everyone has their story. You know that. And we have so many genres of stories because we have the people that was in the water, trying to get to refuge to the Superdome. We had people that was trapped. We had people in the hospital. Stories, endless, but, all we can do is try our best to try to get these people, reach out as much to our, local people that we know that, has the stories left for us, each and every year. I don't care who it is, they don't have to be, among, the city council or, no one, with a title or name, just anyone, we need the stories. That's the only way we'll know or open our eyes to, all the genres of things that, all of us was going through at that one day in time, and I guess we say week because Katrina was a week, even though Katrina was a one-day storm down here, the people that went through, we said Katrina week.
Yes, absolutely. It was an entire week because we had to decide if we were going to leave. We had to decide like what it was, and we had not experienced a storm. We heard about Betsy. My parents had gone through Betsy, but I didn't know anything about it. All I knew was stories of it, and so like my son, he has heard stories of it. He's actually seen videos where my husband and I have talked about it, but he doesn't know what that's like, but he knows that we don't stay anymore. If it's something that's coming and it seems like it's something that's going to be big enough, I'd rather waste the gas and the money on getting out of here than to stay here because we were here.
Exactly. And it comes to, like you say, with the media back then, Betsy, the media was totally different. Media was just really getting in, the groove of, trying to, report and, do journalism and what have you. Just, really.
They didn't have the platforms to be able to show video.
Exactly.
At the time, it was only print.
Right.
But to get visuals and consistently get visuals fed to you on a daily basis. I remember the people at the hospital, one of the nurses said, she said, this really isn't good for you to keep looking at this because your emotions that you're feeling, your baby is going to feel. And I had to get to the point that I had to turn it off. So now I'm just as cautious and careful with myself as it relates to consuming the recounting because I have my own story. I don't really need I don't really need to delve down in additional information. I know it was bad. I was here. So yeah.
Right. And then just a little skit for us with your homework is concerned about earlier, because I was listening to the top of the hour. I'm more than sure I don't even have to tell you that, Miss Kim. But you asked about for us with giving thoughts about solutions. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and for as where my solution side comes in there, whatever, and I just want to, give everybody enlightenment on, my perspective for us with where we lost that, because you already know the news media, us, individuals down here, the people they sent down here to, come give us aid, refuge, what have you, the transition of getting us out of here, all that was what, Miss Kim?
It was a cluster, and
It
it
was
was deliberately.
numbers.
It was
It was all
deliberately.
about numbers.
Yeah, but it was
It was the
deliberate
math.
in refusing aid
Right,
to
exactly. That was all
everybody.
in the midst of that. That was all. But when it all boils down, when they come down to Katrina, they can't not mention Katrina without mentioning numbers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Am I right?
You're correct.
Okay, so we going where we going there from the numbers. Stay with me. Okay, so if it was next door to numbers, why numbers are daily be on an hourly basis? Really, if we get that serious, Katrina situations, hourly basis for us with making sure y'all have the numbers of people. Period. I mean, when it comes down to 2 months out of, hurricane preparedness, or that's when y'all come out with these numbers when it comes down to, politics and numbers for us with voting, right? Right? They count those numbers. I mean, and when the ballot come in and people come in and they at the neck of the wire, they want to recount the number, right?
Right.
Why we can't get seriously with those numbers when it comes down to hurricane preparedness and making sure that we have these numbers correct. When it comes down to the situation of people, when we do have to evacuate, and it comes down to the situation of, the storm hitting, why we won't make sure we have those same numbers down or corrected, or making sure that we able to, perform is we did, better than Katrina when it comes down to evacuation and rendering aid to people to, leave out, the harm's way of storms. I don't understand that.
That is
It's the
a
same.
good question to ask at these
Right.
forums that are being held.
Right.
So if you get a chance to attend the forum of the people who are offering
Ooh, Miss
themselves
Kim,
up
that's
to,
a whole nother heartbreak, because that's why I had that backup with, the LA Gator, situation, because Miss Kim, I'm in a transition in my life. I promise you I won't scare the WBOK family with that. But by that being said, give me a minute. I'm still on homework for us with the back end, with, you all. Thank you, God, for you all, just accepting my calls and, giving my voice, reach out to the people right now as we speak, because I'm unfortunately not able to go out there physically right now. And I'm gonna just give you a snippet of that situation, Miss Kim. I'm a mother of 6. Okay.
yes, I listen. I don't know if you listen to the Front Porch or often, but I have excitement as I share
Yes.
about that. My last one is on her way out. So yeah,
Yes,
I get
ma'am.
it. I
Yes,
get it.
ma'am. And see, and God bless you with that, Miss Kim, because I don't know what I was thinking, because about my numbers with that 6, my oldest is 30 and my youngest is 5. So God bless me too, Miss Kim.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Listen,
So
I overstand. Do you hear me? I
yes,
overstand.
ma'am. So that's why the situation and the contact barrier is just a little slim. But I'm not giving up the fight. The fight is
Absolutely.
bigger than what my situation, whatever I'm going through. So help me God. But I'm gonna end it in this final note for us with the overall with Katrina, whatever. We need to wake up and really pay attention to our connection with the Almighty God, because Katrina is nothing but the representation of His living grace.
Ashe. Ashe.
Amen. Can I get an amen?
Yes, ma'am. Amen.
Yeah, because we can all go back to what Isaiah, 40, and we come to that verse 31. But they that we wait up on the Lord shall renew their strength. And we waited on the Lord. How many days? How many days,
It was a
Miss
week.
Kim?
It was a week before we could get people out of here, and
Oh
far
Lord
beyond
Jesus.
after that. So when you said Katrina
Let's
week, you are
go.
absolutely correct.
I'm gonna let WBOK have a holy, nice, great day. With that being said, amen. And
Amen.
keep up the good work, Miss Kim. And I promise I'm a call back.
Yes, please let us know. Keep us updated.
Prejudiced to the Good Morning Show. I promise. Okay.
All right, Raquel. Thank you for calling. We'll talk to you later. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. On that, y'all, we got to take this break. Stay tuned to the Front Porch right here on WBOK Media, the station you listen to all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Hello, friend. Tavis Smiley here with a special announcement. You can catch my show at a new time. Weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Same great topics, same great guests, same great conversations, just a little earlier in the day. It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m. only on WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about.
20 years ago, Hurricane Katrina tested New Orleans like never before. We lost homes, history, and loved ones, but never our spirit. From the floodwaters, we rebuilt, reshaped, and revived a culture that no storm could wash away. On Saturday, August 30th, the city of New Orleans will host the Hurricane Katrina 20th Anniversary Commemorative Summit, a powerful day of stories, strategy, and hope, charting the next 20 years for our city. To learn more, visit katrina20.nola.gov/K20-summit. Still standing, still New Orleans.
At New Orleans East Hospital, we believe healthcare should come with heart. Located at 5620 Reed Boulevard, we proudly serve the New Orleans community with compassion, courtesy, and a commitment to excellence. From healing to education, we want to be your trusted healthcare partner that's close to home. New Orleans East Hospital, delivering a culture of healthy care.
Welcome to Liberty Bank and Trust, where your financial journey transforms communities. Since 1972, our customized banking solutions power your dreams and fuel your community growth. Every dollar you invest with us circles back to empower more people, ensuring opportunities for generations. Join us at Liberty Bank. Together, we empower possibility. Visit libertybank.net to start banking with purpose. Liberty Bank, there's freedom here.
You're on the Front Porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
Excuse me, caller. You got a collect call from the Orleans Parish Prison. Be advised, any attempt to make three-way calling, call waiting, call transfer will have your call disconnected. Caller at the tone, say your name. Will you accept this collect call? Oh, call me Joe Campbell. Get the hump out you. Oh, I'm Joe Campbell. I get the hump out you. Oh, call me Joe Campbell. Get the hump out you. Oh, call me Joe Campbell. I don't want no clue, no lucky strike. Smoking no GPC, Optimal, back in my smoke no switch or swing, smoke no Camel. Get the hump out your back, smoke no Camel. Get the hump out
Welcome back to the Front Porch here on WBOK Media, what New Orleans is talking about all day long. I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree, and on the other side of the glass is my super producer, Nyron Sanders, and Jay the Magnificent, who has fed me. So you know I'm feeling real good right now. And I don't know, our GM is over there doing something or other. I don't know. He's just doing stuff. But we're gonna get right to it because he's been waiting. 504-582-9422. Hello, Elwin.
You know, New Orleans should be
Wait a
owning
minute,
the-
Elwin. Say
Good morning.
All right. Now let's go. What you got?
Now, New Orleans should be owning the federal government for what we went through with Katrina
Agreed.
because the levees was not built. They promised to fix the levees years ago. They didn't. And the mental anguish that the people went through and the loss of life they went through. So New Orleans should be running the federal government. In fact, New Orleans should have sued the federal government for all the stuff that they went through. Would you agree?
Agreed. I'm with you. I'm with you when you're right.
Okay. So my point is, I went through a lot too, but with Katrina, but I'm glad I'm on this side of the dirt. But the people got to stand up. People got to let them know the federal government they're wrong. Just like I'm gonna make this controversy, just like abortion. If everybody stand together against abortion, the federal government would not. This would not be a law.
Well, we have more that we need to do outside of just abortion. We need to make sure that everybody is taken care of. And that has not been enough conversation about everybody being taken care of. It's been a select few. So we really got to get into that piece about us preserving life and safety for everybody.
And wasn't George Bush was the president then?
He was. Mm-hmm. He was, and I was in church when C. Ray Nagin said that he came down. They turned all the lights on in Jackson Square, and then after he gave his speech, all the lights went off, and he went on to Baton Rouge after a couple conversations and pictures. So yeah.
Well, to me, if New Orleans had a way of impeaching him, he should have been impeached then for that because he took too long to send the trucks down here. He took too long to do anything. And I kind of put it together. We had a Democrat governor in there, Kathleen Blanco.
Mm-hmm.
Had that would have been a Republican, he'd have hurry up and sent that here.
You think?
I know.
I don't know.
I know because Republicans, just like we got a governor that's in there now, and we got Dr. Cuckoo in there as president, they think alike.
All right.
And I think this way. Republicans think alike. Well, they think alike because they want to do things their way. And I'm a Democrat, and I'm going to die a Democrat. Because
we just need the Democrats to stand up and do what it is that they're supposed to do.
Right. We need the Democrats to stand up against the Republicans and do what's right. And it's a fighting battle with them Republicans, and that's why so many of them are getting in trouble.
Agreed.
They're doing things underhanded, under the table, and when they get caught, then they want to get their lawyers, and their lawyer gets them off. I don't think Trump is going to spend no time in jail when he gets out of office.
Well, I mean, we have yet to see. It's a lot of things that we thought that wouldn't happen to him, but hope springs eternal. We got to take this break, all right, Elwin?
Okay.
We wish we see you tomorrow, but we'll be looking forward to seeing you soon, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, you have a good, restful weekend, and we're going to catch up with you on Tuesday, all right?
Believe me, I'm resting. I'm getting rested up.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you Tuesday.
All right.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Stay tuned to the Front Porch right here on WBOK Media, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans. This year marks 20 years since Hurricane Katrina changed our city and our schools forever. New Schools for New Orleans is sharing After the Storm, a special series reflecting on the past 2 decades of change and progress in public education. Through videos, personal stories, and a powerful interactive timeline and data dashboard, we explore how our schools recovered, transformed, grew, and what that progress means for our students today. Discover the videos, data, resources, and stories behind the 20 years of change at newschoolsforneworleans.org/Katrina20.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black Chicago businessman Willie Wilson is urging Trump to send the National Guard to curb violence.
Anybody that comes in to help save lives, whether they Republican, Democrat, I welcome it.
But Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson vow to fight any troop deployment in court, calling it illegal and un-American. Black Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice has been suspended 6 games by the NFL. The punishment follows his guilty plea in a Dallas crash where he drove 119 miles per hour, entering 4. Rice got 30 days in jail and 5 years probation. And today marks 20 years since Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans, killing over 1,800 people after the city's levee system failed. The BIN's Tammy Estwick will anchor a special honoring the lives lost and the legacy of the storm. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
You're on the Front Porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
girl lock my phone. Trying to unlock my phone, but she ain't gonna get the full digits. Yeah, she ain't gonna get it. I said, baby girl lock my phone. Trying to unlock my phone, but she ain't gonna get the full digits. Oh, what? I said, the baby girl lock my phone. Trying to unlock my phone, but she ain't gonna get the full digits. Twice. Come on. I said, baby girl lock my phone. Trying to unlock my phone, but she ain't gonna get the full digits. Twice. What? Kick it. Kick it. Work out. Shout it out. I see you, baby. Baby girl lock my phone. Trying to unlock my phone, but she ain't gonna get the full digits. No. Get it. I said, baby girl lock my phone. Trying to unlock my phone, but she ain't gonna get the full digits. Twice. Twice. Come on. I said, baby girl lock my phone. Trying to unlock my phone, but she ain't gonna get the full digits. Twice. Baby girl lock my phone. Trying to unlock my phone, but she ain't gonna get the full digits. Twice. Yeah. Come on. What? Kick it. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to the Front Porch here on WBOK Media. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree. On the other side of the glass is super producer Nyron Sanders, and of course Jay the Magnificent. And Justin is doing something. Chicken bacon, be helped. It is the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, and I am going to tell you my own Katrina story. Some of you know, some of you may not know, but you're going to get this story anyway. And I just got a phone call from my brother, which even more so, I am definitely going to share what was going on with me and my family on during Hurricane Katrina. My brother, who I just got off the phone with, was located at Orleans Parish Prison. I've shared with you that my brother has had some addiction struggles, and we could not find out what was going on with him for weeks, and all while I was at Baptist Memorial Hospital. You all know where it is, Napoleon and Claiborne. I had been hospitalized because my son CJ had poked a hole in his water, so they had to keep me in the hospital so that I wouldn't go into preterm labor. When the storm made landfall, the excitement of things took place, and the stress of all of the things that were going on. Everything was fine after the storm passed. It was actually pretty outside. And later on that day was when the water came into the city, where we could not see the streets, could not see many of the cars. Maybe around 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock after the storm had passed. So we're talking about dark o'clock on the 30th. I went into labor, and there wasn't a whole lot that they could do to stop it. I was trying to get to at least 7 months, and I was one day shy of 7 months. And I guess CJ decided that he was going to enter the world, and he did. Almost didn't get an epidural. Was grateful that I was able to get it, because that being my first experience with having labor pains, that was something else. But was just able to get it, and the doctors gave me all kind of precautions and like preparing me in the event he would not, I guess, have a regular APGAR score, or his birth would be normal. And he said he may not cry when he's delivered. And 2 pushes, he was out. 2 pounds, 2 ounces. And so if you know anything about weight, 2 pounds, 2 ounces for a baby is not that big. Um, and that was the day he came into the world fighting and ready to take his place. After we had him, the hospital was on generator power. And because he was so young and so because he was so small, he required to be on a ventilator for him to breathe. And luckily, I was one of the parents who was able to talk to not only the nurse, but also the doctor that would receive him in Baton Rouge at Women's Hospital. Shout out to PK because that was his nurse who stood by him. I mean, almost 24 hours several times while he was in the NICU at Women's Hospital. I later found out that as they transported him in a Black Hawk helicopter, the incubators were too heavy for the helicopters to take the babies. And the nurses that went with him had to put him inside her shirt and handbag him all the way to Baton Rouge until he could be put on a ventilator. And so when people are sharing their stories about what took place during this time, I always want to fast forward past today, but I am grateful and I am thankful that today will be behind me and I will be able to share and celebrate Kamar Dupree's 20th birthday. So I knew this was coming and I have had a mixed bag of emotions. Like I said this morning, I almost cried, but then I didn't. I am happy to be here, but I remember how people treated us after the hurricane. So all other times they tell us, you know, why aren't y'all over this? Why aren't you all past this? But we don't have to forget these other things that have happened to other groups of people. We're never going to forget this one. We're never going to forget how some of y'all made us feel, how you told us that we couldn't come back to this city. But again, I am grateful. One, that he is here and all of the things that they said was going to be wrong with him, it was not so at all. And to those of you all who are walking through and trying to figure out how you feel about today, I say this. It's been a hard road. It has. But we have been able to withstand it. And it is time for us to not only request, but demand that the people who we pay by way of taxes, the services that we are expected to receive, that we want it, and we are not going to take any shorts on whether or not you deliver to us. You owe us, and we want it. And after all the niceties have passed us by way of this commemoration of the 20th year, it's time to go get them. And I wanted to share that with you guys. You know, being here, after I had CJ, they flew him out of the hospital and got him to safety so that he could be on the support that he needed by way of electricity. And shortly after, the power went out in the hospital. They took me out in a boat, put me in an ambulance, drove me to Oshner Hospital on Jefferson Highway. Oshner said they were not taking any more patients. From there, they drove me to where 610 and I-10 meet, put me in another ambulance, drove us to Baton Rouge, put us on to LSU's campus and said they were going to triage us there. And I said, absolutely not. My family is on their way to get me because I'm going to see about my son. And I did just that. And wow, there's nothing that can get in your way of what it is that you make plans to do. I want y'all to stop giving us stuff just because you know we can take it. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And we're going to get on these schools next week. I promise you. Because that is another space that needs to be addressed. Education for all children, regardless of color, economic placement, and regardless of who they're related to. All children deserve a proper, fair, and appropriate education. No ifs, no ands, no nothing. Y'all owe us. Thank y'all for listening. 504-582-9422. Good morning, Ronnie.
Hi, Kimber.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Ronnie, and I also had a baby the day of Hurricane Katrina, and I heard your story just now, and I sympathize with you, and knowing everything that we've been through, we had to go through so much emotional turmoil, just wondering how we were going to get out of it. But, you know, I guess we were in the same boat.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Where were you? What hospital?
I was actually, fortunately, on the West Bank at West Jeff Hospital.
Okay.
And I went into labor the Sunday before Katrina. I couldn't evacuate because my platelets was too low, and I already got news that, I was probably going to have to give birth, worrying about bleeding out.
Yes.
So I stayed close, and I knew I couldn't get in the car and kind of drive, So, yeah, just hearing your story just made me think about it. I said, let me call and just let her know there was somebody else going through it right with you.
Thank you for that, Ronnie. And how old is your baby now?
She made 20 today.
Well, happy birthday,
Yes.
baby girl.
And she's a Xavier student, so I know you guys on Xavier campus, so she's somewhere on that campus.
Tell her to come and see me. We are in Xavier South, and I'd love to
Xavier
meet her.
South. That's where most of her
meet
classes are, in Xavier South. So she's a business student. So I would definitely tell her to come and see you.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Mom. We made it.
Yes, we made it, and happy birthday to your baby.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for calling.
Okay. All right.
Have a great one.
You too. Bye.
All righty. Bye-bye. Yeah, man. Yeah. Today, somebody asked me, how do you feel? And my response was not my usual, I'm fine. My response was confused, sad, anxious, hopeful, and ready to celebrate my son tomorrow. And yeah, this is a week, and the effects have lasted so long, but I'm ready to get to tomorrow. And yeah, you got to go through it. At any rate, I appreciate y'all's support in the comments. I really do. They owe us. Yeah, they owe us, and we gonna get it. We're not taking no shorts. And for your people who could not be bothered to vote before, I implore you, if you got a tongue tussle with them, do that, because we need leadership that is going to be good for us, not just good for some of us. And man, I'm not gonna get into that right now, but y'all know what people are saying, being paid to say enough is enough. Enough is enough. We really have to make some big changes. Shout out to Ashe, shout out to Taproot, shout out to the K20 organizations that have aligned to put forth spaces of healing, because the government did us dirty. The state and the federal government did us dirty. And everybody in America, matter of fact, across the world, watched how they did us dirty. They left us here with the idea that many of us wouldn't return, hoping that we wouldn't return. And we here. We are here. And y'all gonna have to be okay with that. And every time you get in our way of progress that we need to make for ours, get your life together. And yes, I do mean representation needs to look like us. I love celebrating women, but women who are against other women publicly, later for you on that. I ain't got time. There's a special place in hell that go against women who are trying to take care of everybody. Because most mamas try to make sure everybody in the family is good. When you got a mama who's trying to take down another mother, like I said, there's a special place in hell for people like that. Where's Nyron? I gotta take this break, y'all. Stay tuned right here to the Front Porch on WBOK Media. What New Orleans is talking about all day long. Stay tuned, y'all. We're coming back with a guest and some good comments and some good information as we lead up to tomorrow. All right, y'all. We'll see you on the other side of it.
Good Friday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. 20 years ago today, the lives of so many in our community changed forever. On August 29th, 2005, Hurricane Katrina devastated much of our area. This morning, New Orleans City Council leaders will come together to honor the 100 unidentified victims of the storm. The annual wreath-laying ceremony will take place at the Katrina Memorial on Canal Street. And we can't forget, today is also the 4-year anniversary of another devastating storm, Hurricane Ida. The Category 4 storm made landfall at Port Fourchon and stayed at Cat 4 all the way to Houma. Ida then turned east and wreaked havoc in the Bayou and River parishes. The hardest hit communities were St. John, St. Charles, Lafourche, Terrebonne, and Lower Jefferson Parish. It's one of the strongest storms to ever hit the state. At least 107 people died, and 30 of those in Louisiana alone. Members of the community gathered to remember the young life of Brian Vasquez. He was found dead in a lagoon near his home in New Orleans East, nearly 2 weeks after he went missing. Family and friends marched to that location, placing a cross to remember him. A family friend says they want the focus now to be on the difficulties faced by some families with children on the spectrum. His death was ruled as blunt force trauma associated with an alligator. And finally, college football is back this weekend. This weekend, LSU takes on Clemson, Southern takes on Mississippi Valley, Grambling takes on Langston, and Tulane takes on Northwestern. And NOLA's very own Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns take on the defending college football champ Ohio State Buckeyes. There's so many exciting games to watch this weekend. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day and a fantastic weekend.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Historically, it is difficult for people from underrepresented groups to raise money to launch businesses. Collab Capital is one firm that's working to connect marginalized communities with the funding and support they need to be successful. Jewel Burke-Solomon is managing partner at Collab Capital, and she spoke to Bloomberg about why investing in women and people of color is important.
Folks who are in the margins, if you will, they oftentimes have the best solutions to our most entrenched problems. The founders that we're finding, they oftentimes have the lived experience that leads them to the right solution, and they really just need the resources and backing and support to be able to build really scalable and successful companies. communities. And that's what we're all about, is not just the capital that we're providing, but also the wraparound services, the fact that we've been entrepreneurs before, we've done it.
Collab Capital's all-person of color founding team has over 20 years of entrepreneurial experience. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Lowe's knows tough jobs call for tougher tools. The new DeWalt Elite Series power tool accessories are built to last for the pro who doesn't stop. With precision fitment, durability, and impact resistance, finishing jobs faster has never been easier. Shop the new DeWalt Elite Series at an everyday low price exclusively at Lowe's. We help, you save.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
This is Monica Pierre along with Sally Ann Roberts-Daybone, co-host of Your Power is On.
Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for music that feeds the spirit. Get your Sunday on.
Right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. and WBOK1230.com, the station you listen to all day long.
Let's face the hard facts, New Orleans. Our city's population keeps dropping. Our residents are unhappy with basic services. Our neighborhoods are suffering, and too few of our young people can find a future in their hometown. This is why the City Services Coalition came together. A diverse, nonpartisan group of local citizens, the Coalition's 216-page action plan is full of fresh, innovative ideas to improve public safety, streets, drainage, sanitation, and permitting. It's based on the simple premise: if we can't do the basics right, how can we do anything else? The time for excuses is over. When you elect a new mayor, no matter who you vote for, make sure that person is ready to work for change and to make New Orleans what it should be, the great city we know it can be. The next step is yours. For more information, go to cityservicescoalition.com.
Paid for by the City Services Coalition.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. You're on the Front Porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
I can't hear.
Oh, I turn the mic on. Dirty Dozen Brass Band ain't nothing but a party.
Gotcha. And of course, Nyron is joined by Jade the Magnificent. I don't know what Justin is doing. He's in there working on something. I'm thinking for tomorrow. There's so many things in the works for tomorrow, but I have some company that is joining us on the front porch. Welcome back to the front porch, Tremaine Riley, and welcome to the front porch, Mr. Ellis. Good morning. How are you this morning?
How you feeling? I'm wonderful.
Oh Lord, how I'm feeling?
through it all.
I don't know. I'm feeling. I'm able to feel. And that's the one thing I can say with regard to how I'm feeling. So, Tremaine, you've been with us before, but Mr. Ted Ellis, how you doing?
Great. Just processing being back home, on this day. When we think about, 20 years later, Hurricane Katrina, the impact of it, looking, at the present and what the future holds for our community. And, just want to stay inspired, stay motivated, keep that level of hope and optimism to push forward, and realize that, we are a resilient community and that we have to show kindness, love, and respect for each other. Understand the importance of how dignity, a dignified community, no matter what your stature or position economically is, will sustain you.
Absolutely. Now, before we dive too far into what's going on and what you've been doing since you've been back in town, tell one or two of the people who may not know who Ted Ellis is. Who is Ted Ellis? Where you people from? And all that good stuff.
So my people are really all over New Orleans, but I grew up in the Lower Ninth Ward, 2401 Treacle Street, right there. Parents were loving parents. We were a shared community. If somebody didn't have anything, then somebody in the community stepped up. I'm a product of New Orleans public school system, graduated from Francis T. Nichols Senior High School. How about that?
See, that's what I was missing at NOC. Yeah. That's what I was missing.
Received my degree in chemistry from Dillard University.
Come on.
And then went on to Southern University and got my master's in museum studies.
Hello.
Yeah.
HBCU, HB. Come on, let's go.
So definitely love having the fact that that level of incubation educationally came from two historically black colleges and universities. Love my community, the propensity to share their culture, their ideology, their lifestyle, unapologetically, with love and joy. And so this is Ted Ellis. This has built the foundation for me to preserve that narrative the best way I can in my passion lane. And my passion lane is an artist. Currently, I'm the director of the Civil Rights Institute at Florida State University.
All right.
So when we talk about, the devastation environmentally from Katrina, you got to also look at, the human element and the civil rights crisis thereafter, and have that conversation on the part about restorative justice and what needs to take place in the city, particularly in the Lower Ninth Ward, where it was ground zero for the devastation as well as the resiliency.
Yes. Your work is known for capturing richness of African American culture and history. Can you tell us a bit about your journey as an artist and what inspired you to begin painting?
All right. So I got to do this in about 1 minute.
We got time.
All right.
We got time.
So grew up in the city, high propensity for culture, and early enough on when I was responsible, I'd take public transit and go to the French Quarters and bug the artists. I was this little kid. I got a size 14 feet now. I must have had 12 years old, size 13. This little black kid with big old feet with 1,000 questions. Leave the French Quarters at Jackson Square. That's a museum without walls. Would go over to the public library and do my research, learning about the Renaissance, the impact of art, and what culture brings to a community. And so was always fascinated with that. And I think early on, if I would have had the support, I would have came out early and said, I'm going to be an artist to make it happen. But I did well academically in school, and I thought chemistry was a major challenge for me. So I delved in that aspect of it. But my passion came back. My early passion came back to me, and I wanted to impact with the importance of cultural advocacy and activism. And so 30 plus years, I worked as a professional artist. During that time, right after the pandemic, and during the pandemic, went back to school, got my master's in museum studies, and I says, I want to take it up a notch. and I want to create programs that will speak about the importance of our culture and our identity. So much what New Orleans has always offered. It's a city of high cultural capital. And so how do we leverage that inside of our communities? How do we do this with our academic institutions? You had a brilliant advocator in John Scott, a MacArthur recipient genius at Xavier University that was a profound influence on me very early in the academic space. Samela Lewis, Elizabeth Catlett, who taught over at Dillard University very early, that got the opportunity for students to go to NOMA very early when NOMA didn't invite African Americans in that space.
And we still having some struggle. We still having some issues. So
I understand all of that. but having that language and that conversation and using art to do it as a platform, because art is a universal language. And so the level of complicity that I just have in speaking English, my backup is my art. It says nothing, but it says everything. And with that, and showing the devastation of when Katrina happened, I was away from home in Sunnyvale, California, doing a private art show. Knew, looking at the media, that the storm was going to come and it had the potential to devastate New Orleans. And that's exactly what it did. And so I screamed loud and hard very early to get my mom out of the lower ninth ward, get my mother-in-law and relatives out. And when we got back to Friendswood, Texas, we had close to 40 people in our house.
Wow.
And that was a beautiful thing, because I felt very comfortable in that space, and we would deal with the aftermath. The storm had passed, and it was done, but then the levees broke. And I said, oh my goodness, all right, they're going to be displaced at least 6 months. What are we going to do in that space? And I immediately got prospectus on each one of the seniors and elderly in there on their medical needs that we had to face. A lot of folks were dealing with diabetes, high blood pressure, and whatnot. So I called up my doctor friends and I said, listen, can you get these prescriptions? We need you to break protocol to make this happen right now. And shoe size, dress size, anything that my family needed, I called out to my friends and community to support. And so my family had a soft landing. I thought about other families that did not have the opportunity for folks to advocate and make the ask for them. And I said, oh my goodness, this is going to be overwhelming. And 3 weeks into after Katrina, I said, I went to my place where I'm real comfortable with. It's my palette and my canvas. And I did a couple of paintings, Surviving Katrina, Ready to Rebuild, and Life Begins Anew. And I called the Friendswood newspaper and I said, would you please tell this story and the contributions of folks who have been displaced, are thinking about if they're going to ever be able to return back home, that have given so much, not only to their community, but to others that come to this wonderful city so that they can be enlightened.
Yeah.
And so that was the very beginning of this series, Surviving Katrina, the Hope, Healing, and Rebirth of New Orleans. Is what we face 20 years later. It's a living testimony of capturing and telling our story, our ongoing story as we live right now. So it's a growing theme exhibition that I continue to advocate for what's needed in my community that birthed me.
You just said a whole lot, and a whole lot of good stuff that I'm sure has branches in other places.
Imagine seeing it every day.
Yeah.
And it's
So Tremaine.
I just get to host it. I didn't create it. But I get to host it in the TEP Center space, and I get to share it with visitors who want to understand our story. The first thing, when you hear for Katrina, that's such a a question.
Is such a loaded question.
Because yes, I wasn't literally in the city, but I was here.
Right. Right.
And so but through looking at the art exhibition, it's like, okay, we can see the evolution of where we were, and pointing to where we're going,
and highlight the spaces that still need additional care. We have made some progress.
Across the street from us at the top.
Listen, there are conversations that we need to have, because I am happy to recognize the growth, because we have had growth, but the equity as it relates to growth and the infringement of areas that are now growing, but that wasn't happening when a different community was there. Like these are conversations that we have to have. We gotta have those conversations. My father is from the 6th Ward, Iberville and Claiborne. Remember the Chinese restaurant that was right on that corner, the white building? My grandmother lived maybe 200 steps, 300 at max from where that Chinese restaurant is. That's all flat now. Right. It's not there. My mom was from back of town. You know, Orleans Parish Prison is ever growing. Perdita Street, some of those houses, they don't look like they used to look when I was there. That used to be the place that we used to go for Easter egg hunts. And so while there is all of these beautiful buildings, these school buildings that are so, updated and stuff. Okay, that's great and everything, but what's going on inside the school? But listen, we gonna talk about the things because I have children. My children have only gone to public schools. I am a product of New Orleans public schools. It was Orleans Parish School Board that was running. That was when I was in school. My parents are also products of that organization as well, and I think I turned out okay. I think I turned out fine. I know a lot of people that came okay, and they're fine. We have some things that impact our city as a result of the things that impact the children, and you wonder why things are not the shining house on the hill. They don't look like that, but everybody comes to consume everything that's here in New Orleans. So I got problems with that, but in struggle, in sadness, we find joy, or we find a way to represent what it is that we're facing. And through your art, you've been able to do that. So now that you've been back here in the city, you're a native New Orleanian. You've been given opportunities because of the education, both primary through high school and then both advanced degrees beyond such product of New Orleans, that you're impacting places beyond New Orleans. How do you feel now that we are marking 20 years since Hurricane Katrina?
So change is evident. And we're talking about the devastation of Hurricane Katrina and the aftermath. And we talk about the hope and the promise. That's what we built on, that tomorrow will be a better day. And so you have to activate, you have to plan, you have to strategize. What does that look like? What's the family plan? What's the community plan in that? How do we advocate? What about policy?
Who's in the plan?
Right, who's in the plan?
Who are the planners?
Right. So,
who's sitting at the table?
So we people with a may not have a larger voice because typically, Black and brown communities don't have the level of capital that other communities have. And so...
not individually.
Not individually, but collectively. And the commonality for us to feel comfortable in our space is community.
Yes.
And shared space is important when we share our culture and our ideology. Art does that. Music does that. You asked Naira about, what song was that? Because you was making a connection to it and stuff like that. That language is so important to gather us to get together so that we could talk, we could strategize. If we need some healing, that gives us some opportunity for healing. We're dealing with trauma on top of trauma.
Amen.
So if you want to talk about slavery, you want to talk about moving from slavery through the redemptive period, through Jim Crow, through civil rights, through Obama till present right now, we're dealing with it.
Yes.
On top of that, when issues like Katrina happen and we have this level of displacement, and we got to deal with these microaggressions. Now we're refugees in our own country at the end of the day. So with
How
that,
can I be seeking refuge when I pay tax dollars?
right? So with that, and coming back to me, wow, man, here's a number on my folks that I love, that I live with, that I see and I touch and I feel, and mentors, teachers, neighbors, classmates, all of that is impacted, and I'm that's one family to me at the end of the day.
Yes.
So in my passion, my purpose, passion, how do I make a change that's constructive, that gives some hope? It's through my art. It's a bitter pill. I got to make you hold your nose and take your medicine. Yes. It has to be a reminder of what has happened and what has transpired in my community and how we have to move together collectively. So get that strength. It's like a black woman. That strength that's in a black woman, is unapologetic. Coming across, carrying 9 months, intentional about preservation of identity and community is right there. So I asked the Lord, give me that kind of strength so that I can push through with my passion, with my art, to be able to enlighten and to share with others in that space. That exhibition is an attempt to do that.
Yeah.
And the TEP Center is an interpretive center to carry our culture and our history forward. So it's talking about us historically and our trials and tribulations past Katrina, up until that point, and beyond that. Yeah. So when Tremaine and Miss Tater in this space, and I see them right there sitting there, and I see the level of documentation of the objects and artifacts in there, and you go into each room, and how everything is so accessible for everybody in that community. And I know when it was sexy, when it was brand new, everybody was there giving and stuff. But when it's old, what happens in thereafter? Where's the community? Where are the fund developers in that space?
That's just like when people die. We're going to take a break right here, y'all. We're going to come back to it because everybody's around for the service. Boom. It's time for the cleanup and the healing. You lose a lot of people that way. Stay tuned right here on the Front Porch on WBOK Media, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Hey, everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the Front Porch.
Some convos are too good to miss. Now you can pull up a chair to the Front Porch anytime.
Just search WBOK Media and subscribe to the Front Porch Podcast.
Download, share, and hit us with a 5-star rating because New Orleans culture deserves to be heard loud and clear.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
Hello, I'm Gary Clark. Please tune in to Dr. Clark 101, The Living Classroom, which is broadcasted weekly every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m. on your dial. And as always, it's been a pleasure.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
You're on the Front Porch with WBOK 1230 AM.
Welcome back to the Front Porch here on WBOK Media, what New Orleans is talking about all day long. I'm your host, Kimber White Dupree, and on the other side of the glass, there's been a change, a view change. It's our GM, Justin, who is holding it down, running around, really, trying to get things ready for tomorrow. Just a reminder, the back porch will be taking place tomorrow night at Don Villavasso's. The link right now is in the chat for those of you who are interested in attending. There are so many different surprises that are in store for you, and we hope that you will join us. But we're going to continue the conversation with Ted Ellis and Tremaine here on the Front Porch as we are talking about capturing our culture and heritage. Now, that's a title. That's saying a lot. It's deeply rooted in shared American experiences, we know. But how do you see this relating to the memory of Katrina and the resilience? And I'm telling you, after today, I don't want to hear resilience no more. I don't want to hear it no more. I'm tired.
Google, please give 13 synonyms for resilience.
Yeah, like enough.
Tremaine, you want to go ahead and chime in?
I think the The exhibition is so we know it's timely, but it's of every time before today and every time after today.
Okay.
So when you look at the images, my favorite piece, I got two favorite pieces in the exhibition. So one is Lift Thyself, and you see a father handing up his newborn baby up to someone off of the roof. He's completely covered in water, but he's holding the baby up for somebody to grab. And so every time I pass, leaving my office, and I look at that painting, it's like, okay, so my community is drowning. What are we doing to lift up the children? Because those are the people that we have to prepare to take over this. And I'm not sure if they're ready. They're capable, but they're not ready.
Yeah.
And so what are we doing as, we're moving into being the truth tellers and the mentors and the elders of our community. What are we doing to get them ready? And so that's so important for us at the TEP Center because we take the foundation of history and to be able to really make it real and visible for young people. There's no greater joy. Like I'm a facilitator of knowledge. That's my whole focus in all aspects of my life. And so I get to do that every day in a space that shares common history of a place. Something about the geography of a place is just, it grounds you. It's
amazing.
It's just like,
it really is.
We like, it's a feeling. I don't have the words for it right now because I'm sitting in my seat and I'm shaking and I'm like trying to figure out what I'm really feeling right now.
I said that. I don't know. How do you? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel.
But then I have to share our story because the kids who are in the classrooms now have no concept. Some do kind of with Hurricane Ida that we had 4 years ago, but it's still, Katrina is this mythical thing
Just
that
like
people
civil rights.
That people kept talking about and it's over.
Right, like civil rights. We don't know. I know my parents had that experience. I know my grandparents had that experience. I didn't have that experience.
But you still fighting for your civil rights every day.
Correct.
But they don't. The concept is foreign to them.
Right.
And so we have to, in a way, make it where they can connect to what they're experiencing, and really draw a straight through line of these historical events and how they directly shaped your life. And sometimes you got
where you go to school, down to the fact that you can't go to school in your own neighborhood,
and you get on the bus at 6:15,
and down to the fact that the teachers that you see this year you may not see next year. All of that has something to do with it. Because I mean, if you think about your school experience, there was no point prior to Katrina that I couldn't go back to the schools that I went and I wouldn't see the teachers that taught me. And so there was a major interruption and a shift. However, as we are dogged about moving forward, stop adding stuff to our plate, please.
Let me bite and chew and digest all the things.
This thing before you add something else, because I already had a full plate before. Stop piling on. I'm okay. Thank you. I mean, I'm gonna figure it out, but just because I can doesn't mean I should have to.
I want to.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm tired. So, Ted,
I got so much to say.
I know.
I mean, we could be here for a long time.
I'm gonna clear this next 4 minutes for you to share what it is that you want to get across.
Yeah, I do. I want folks to see my community as an asset and not a liability. To invest in my community.
Say it for the people in the back.
And the TEP Center is an asset for the total community, and we have to continue to make that investment into that asset. It's also a healing place. It's a tremendous healing place. It aligns itself with a lot of my ideology of living. We're responsible for really two things: our seniors, our elderly, and the young folks. When we in that space, And so the physicality of that space is not a theoretical application. It's real when you walk in that center and you see the level of engagement and the responsibility. The third floor at its highest point is to protect our asset, the wisdom of our elders in that space. That's our total community in that space. The second level is where we take care of the objects and artifacts that preserves our stories and our narratives in that space as it relates to us. And on the bottom floor, where it incubates the ones very early in there, there's the shared stories, the oral stories, the oral histories of our existence, the written documentation, the research that's in there. It gives opportunity for us to come in that space and share our stories as a community museum, as a small eco-museum. I mean, you can't get any more authentic in that space. And it's a very towering institution, and it has prior history as a platform and an edification to preserve and to teach. That's back down on 19. And we know the impact of that school and the level of integration throughout the whole country. So it has tremendous history and reverence in that space. And we need to realize that and share in the preservation, not up to one or two people in that space, but that's for the whole community to be involved. I enjoyed Malik coming in, and this is an artist with a tremendous amount of passion and ideas and visualization and impact, and he's already working with the kids. When we had finished our discussion, I said, man, walk with me to the car. I says, I'm tired, but I want to hear more of what you have to offer. And I want you to be mindful that everybody that you speak to got an idea and want to do something as well. So what I have some time to put aside to help you with your ambition. He said, well, I got one more program. He said, I take a whole bunch of kids to the French Quarters and they have to tell about a certain person in their community of their contribution so that everybody can hear this oral history. I said, oh, that's so brilliant, man. I says, well, we're going to work toward that. And I says, you know, we want to leverage the TEP Center so that these young futures could have this conversation, this reading. And so just like I did with the Driven by the Storm, with the RTA bus piece, my goal was to bring RTA into this conversation.
Yes.
And support not only during Katrina, but right now, and how their dollars will impact the growth of our community. Just give one scholarship through RTA. And if every major corporation, you know, in the city of New Orleans did that, you know, there's going to be that ripple effect and best practice. And we also learn how to make that ask to these corporate entities to invest in our futures. That's a high priority at the end of the day. So with the idea about the art gets put up on the wall. It says nothing, but it says everything. We get to ingest wherever you're at in your space to learn from that, to engage that, to have conversation. Tremaine just talked about, you know, lift thyself. You know, what about ready to rebuild? What about, you know, on the auction block that predates Katrina? You know, that we talk about slavery. We talk about the black codes. You know that impacted our lifestyle, that built the community of Treme, the Lower Ninth Ward, Pontchartrain Park. You know, so it steers a plethora of conversation centered around our community and our gathering in that space. So we need to know the importance of our history and our culture. That's a continuous thing that we share, you know, every day. Dr. Carter G. Woodson, that was the reason that he had Negro Week, that turns to Black History Month, so that we can have this conversation, so that others could learn and appreciate and see us as an asset and not a liability. Don't build prisons and continue to put Black and brown people in there. We're not building a better society with that. We need to educate. We need to have trauma centers to deal with all the trauma that we continue to deal with. This is post-slavery that is built up. Nobody says that, you know, has identified, you know, the challenges that we have in that space to continue to keep our families and communities together through it all. The average earned income for an African-American family is less than $18,000. For white families, $150,000. So in a system built on capitalism, there's a big chasm and divide to sustain. Absolutely. So we're living immediately all day long, you know, trying to find a better way, making a better way, not making a better way.
Correct.
You know, through it all. And so I want to do as much as I can to look at not only the spiritual importance that's going to sustain us, the physical importance, the historical, the educational, but also the economics of it.
The leisure.
And so when we talk about that in partnership with what we have to offer with the TEP Center and the artists in my space and other things, how do we bridge? So I see a traveling exhibition in support by major corporations, in support by philanthropic organizations, so that we could share that message of strength, that message of hope, to show our dignity, our level of accomplishments, our history, so that we can educate folks to say that, we're not waste, we're asset driven in this space, and we have great history to share.
Absolutely. I think we have unfortunately run out of time, but
no, we can't. Give me some more time. No.
But Ted Ellis, whenever you are in town, you definitely have an open invitation to join us back here on the Front Porch. And of course, Jermaine Riley, you already know where we at, girl. Come on, just come on over and we're gonna have the conversations. I would like to thank you all for giving us the last 3 hours of your time and joining us here on the Front Porch. We have commemorated and will continue to commemorate August 29th as a day of remembrance. I am your host, Kimber White Dupree. Take care of yourselves and do something nice for somebody else, because it's a nice thing to do right now. Please be kind to each other. And we're going to see y'all tomorrow night. And then you'll hear from us on Tuesday. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you.